A poor girl finds a millionaire thrown into an abandoned landfill, and her story changes forever. Camila. Ramira could hardly breathe as she looked through the last pieces of metal she could sell that day. The 8-year-old knew she needed to find something valuable before dark because her grandmother was a Mercedes. I felt bad again, and they didn't even have money for blood pressure medication. That's when her bare feet stumbled over something soft among the rubble. Looking down, Camila froze. A man in a dark suit was lying. There he was, unconscious, with his face dirty with the ground, but he was breathing slowly. His clothes, though torn, looked expensive and on. His wrist gleamed with something golden, which made her blink. "Sir," she whispered, lightly touching him. "Shoulder." "Sir, are you okay?" The man caught a little, but did not open his eyes. Camille looked around the abandoned junkyard, checking to see if anyone sees them. The place was located on the outskirts of colonies of Nessa, the eastern zone of Mexico City, and few people dared to go there after 5 p.m. Camilla's heart was pounding violently. She knew that she had to call someone, but she also knew that if the neighbors found out, they would want to take away everything valuable from her. What the man had, and it was obvious from his clothes that he had money. "I'll help you," she muttered, taking the bottle of water she had found earlier. I carefully lifted the man's head and moistened his dry lips. He slowly opened his eyes, blinking in confusion. There were light half-green eyes that made her nervous for a second. Where is? His voice was hoarse. "At the junkyard, at the end. Corinho Street. You're wounded." Camille spoke quietly, always listening to the sounds around her. The man tried to sit down, but he caught him in pain and pressed his hand to his head. "I don't remember anything. How did I get here?" "I don't know, sir. I found you here a moment ago. What is your name?" He was silent for a long time, as if looking for an answer somewhere in his mind. "No, I can't remember." Camille felt a pang in her chest, not out of pity, but out of recognition. She also knew the feeling of being lost, nowhere to go. "Do you live far from here?" she asked. He looked at his own clothes, touching the gold watch on his wrist. "I think so. These clothes are not like the clothes of someone who lives here. You must get out of here before dark," Camilla said. "Help him lean on a piece of concrete. This place becomes dangerous at night. You're not leaving. What are you? Are you doing it here?" Camille hesitated. She did not like to explain her life to strangers, but in her confused eyes, this man had something that made her feel safe. "I'm looking for things to sell. Metal, plastic, things like that. My grandmother is sick and I need to buy medicine." The man looked at her with an expression she couldn't define. It was surprise, admiration, pity. "How old are you?" "8. But I already know how to take care of myself." He tried to get up, but his legs trembled so violently that I had to lean on it again. "I think I won't be able to walk far in such a state," he admitted. Camille looked at the sky was beginning to darken. She knew she couldn't leave the man here. As much as she knew him, she did not. Could leave someone who needed help. "Come with me," she decided. "My grandmother won't like it, but you need a place to spend the night." "I can't accept it. You don't even. You know. I don't know half of the people who live near me either," Camille replied, handing him her little hand. "But when someone needs help, you need help. This is how it works." Dear listener, if you like the story, please like and, most importantly, subscribe to the channel. This is very helpful for those who are just starting out. Now, continuing, the man took her hand and slowly stood up. Together they walked slowly through the streets with knockouts on the outskirts. Camille led him through alleys she knew by heart, avoiding the main streets where there might be too curious eyes. Camille's family home was at the end of the cul-de-sac. It was small, made of wood and asbestos sheets, but it was clean and tidy. A small vegetable garden grew in the backyard, carefully tended by her grandmother. Grandma Mercedes called Camille in front of the entrance. "I brought someone who needs help." Dona Mercedes Ramirez appeared in the doorway. Woman 68, years with gray hair tied up in a simple bun. Her brown eyes immediately shifted from her granddaughter's face to the strange man she was supporting. "Camilla, what have you done now?" Her voice sounded more tired than angry. "I found it in the junkyard." "Grandmother, he is wounded and does not remember anything. I couldn't leave him there." The Mercedes looked at the man carefully. He was tall, good-looking, despite the dirt. His clothes spoke for themselves. The watch on his wrist was probably worth more than the annual income of both. "Young man, what's your name?" she asked incredulously. I can't remember anything, madam, not even my name. Do you think I was born yesterday? Mercedes crossed its arms. Rich people do not appear in our landfill by chance. Either you are running away from someone, or someone put you there on purpose. Camille stood defensively in front of the man. Grandmother, he is really wounded. Look how he trembles when he tries to walk. Mercedes sighed. She knew the soft heart of her granddaughter and understood that it was useless to argue. You can stay the night, but if tomorrow you don't remember anything, you'll have to leave. I can't risk my granddaughter's safety. I quite understand, madam. I am very grateful to you for hospitality. His good manners attracted the attention of Mercedes. It wasn't the ordinary person's way of speaking. There was a refinement even in confusion. During the night, while the man was relaxing on a small sofa in the living room, Camille helped her grandmother cook dinner. There was not much: rice, beans, and second-class meat, which they were able to buy earlier. But they shared without complaint. Grandma, do you think he's lying? Whispered Camila as we washed his dishes. I don't know, daughter, but there is one thing I have learned in my life. When someone shows up dressed like that in our dump, it's because something happened. Very serious. He seems to be a good man. The worst always look like that, Camila. Therefore, you must be careful. But even as she said that, Mercedes couldn't deny that there was something unusual about the man. The way he thanked for every little gesture, how he apologized for disturbing, how his eyes filled with tears as they shared food with him. The next morning, Camille woke up early and found a man sitting in the yard and staring, looking at the watch on his wrist. Do you remember something? She asked, sitting down next to him. Some glimpses, intricate images. He showed her his watch. They are engraved. For you with love, Patricia. I think these initials are mine. Diego, David, Daniel. I don't know, but name Patricia. I think I know someone with that name. Camille looked at her watch carefully. They were beautiful, heavy, with a few small buttons. They probably cost a lot of money. He looked at her. Camilla, for some reason, she helped me yesterday. You don't know me, and it's obvious that I'm not from here. Why did you take the risk? The girl did not answer for a long time, playing with a dry twig that she found on earth. My parents left me when I was 5 years old, she said without looking at him. My grandmother tells me that they just disappeared. I never knew why. If someone had helped them when they needed it, maybe they would still be here. The man felt as if something had broken in his chest. I am so sorry. You don't need to be sorry. I just wanted to say that when I see someone lost, I remember them and think that maybe someone is looking for you. If no one is looking for me, everyone. There is someone, Camille said with the wisdom of someone who grew up too early. Sometimes we just don't know who it is. The Mercedes appeared in the doorway of the kitchen and called both for coffee. It was the stale bread she had received in at the end of the previous day at the bakery and liquid coffee, but they served it with the same dignity as the banquet. I decided something, the man said after eating. I'll try to find out who I am, but for now, I want to help you. How? She asked. Mercedes is incredulous. This watch costs a lot of money. I can sell them and share them with you. No way. Camille got up from the table in irritation. This watch is yours. They were given to you with love. We will not allow. You have to sell them. But everyone needs something, Mercedes interrupted. This does not mean that we should accept charity. The pride of these two women deeply touched the man. He was used to a world where everything was bought and was sold, where money was the solution to all problems. It was different here. Then let me work. I can help in some way. The Mercedes looked at his hands. These were hands that had never known hard work, but there was determination in his eyes. Do you know how to dig? No, but I can learn. Then you can help me with the garden, and during the day you can accompany Camila to the dump. 2 find more things than one. Camille smiled. It was the first time anyone had worked with her. She always did everything alone. Days that followed created a strange but comforting routine. The man who decided to call himself Miguel has not yet revealed his real name, showed an amazing determination to learn. His hands quickly became calloused, and he found that there was a deep satisfaction in seeing plants grow under his care. Camille taught him to distinguish between different types of metal. Which plastic costs more, look for items that could be resold. Miguel was impressed by the girl's intelligence, her ability to find value where others saw only garbage. You're very smart, he told her one day as they were dividing the material. This, Grandma Mercedes taught me. She says that a poor man cannot afford to be stupid. Your grandmother is a very wise woman. Yes, but she was tired. Camille suddenly became serious. Sometimes I'm afraid that she will leave like my parents. Why do you think so? She is. Complains of pain when he thinks I can't see. And sometimes she just stares into the void, as if she is thinking about something. Sad. Mill stopped separating the jars and looked at the girl. Camille, have you ever thought about try to find your parents? How? I don't even know. Are they alive? There are ways. People who help to search for the missing. Family members. These people don't work for free, and we don't have the money to pay. The conversation was interrupted by shouts from entrance to the landfill. Miguel and Camila hid behind a pile of rubble, watching three men in suits who. We talked to a resident of this zone. We are looking for a man, one of them said, showing a photo. He disappeared for a week. Back. If someone knows something, there is a reward. Miguel's blood froze. Even without seeing the photo, he was sure that it was he. Let's go, whispered Camille, tugging at his shirt. Let's get out through the back door. They ran away through alleys that Camille knew like the back of her hand. But Miguel could not stop thinking that. Saw, Camila, I think someone is looking for me. These are good or bad people, I don't know. But if they came here, then they. Persistent. When they got home, they found a Mercedes, paler than usual, sitting in the kitchen with a glass water in his hand. Grandma, are you okay? Camille ran to her. Only a little dizzy. It will pass. Mill looked at the woman carefully. Over there. There was something else. Something she was hiding. Donor CDs. You should consult a doctor. With what money? Young man. She let out a bitter laugh. The state system is in complete disarray, and I can't have a private doctor. Afford. And if you. It's okay, she interrupted firmly. I have already said that we do not want charity, but Miguel saw despair in Camille's eyes. The girl tried to be strong, but it was obvious that she was terrified of the possibility to lose his grandmother. That night, while the Mercedes was sleeping, Miguel had a serious conversation with Camila. I need you. Tell you something. Today at the junkyard I saw people looking for me. Camille stopped washing dishes from dinner. You will. Leaving? I don't know. It depends on who these people are and what they want from me. Are you afraid of them? Miguel thought about the question. Yes, I was afraid of them, but I could not determine exactly what it was. I'm afraid to put you in danger. We have always lived in danger, Camille said with the naturalness of someone who knows the reality of the streets. Having you here made us feel more secure, not less. Even if you don't know who you are, sometimes it's better not to know. She wiped her hands on a shabby kitchen towel. My grandmother always says that we get to know people because of what they do, not because they say. And what do? You plant carrots with us, sharing food, making my grandmother laugh when you tell made-up stories. This is what matters. The next day, Miguel woke up with fragments of memories returning as flash. He remembered elegant offices, tense meetings, numbers on spreadsheets, and a fight. A very ugly quarrel. Patricia, he muttered, touching the watch on his wrist. You remember something, Camille? Heard. I think I remembered who Patricia was. I think it's my wife. Then she must be looking for you. Maybe or maybe. Be not. Miguel's ambiguous answer left Camille confused, but she did not insist. She learned to respect. Time for people to talk about difficult things. The Mercedes appeared in the kitchen, staggering and leaning against the walls. Grandmother. Camille ran to support her. Only dizziness. Daughter, it will pass. But it did not pass. Mercedes lost. Realization in the hands of his granddaughter. Miguel did not hesitate. He took the woman in his arms and ran into the street, screaming for help. Neighbor, who had a car, agreed to take them to the nearest department. Deferred assistance. In the hospital, while the Mercedes was being treated, Miguel watched Camila. The girl was silent, but her little hands were trembling with nervousness. She'll be fine, he said, sitting down next to the. Nay, we don't know. Your grandmother is a strong woman. Everyone has a limit. Camila's early wisdom broke Miguel's heart. An 8-year-old girl should not carry such a weight on her shoulders. 2 hours later, the doctor showed up with news. Mercedes was stable, but needed to stay in hospital for more detailed surveys. There was a suspicion of heart problems. How long? Camille asked. At least 3 days. Maybe more. How much will it cost? Miguel's question made the doctor look at him with surprise. Ella is in the state system. It won't cost anything, but it may take time. Oh yes, it's private. Miguel. No. Camille whispered, tugging at his shirt. I could speed up some tests, the doctor admitted, but we are talking about several thousand. Do private tests. How will you pay for it? Camila asked. When? The doctor walked away. I'll find a way. With what kind of money? If you don't even remember who you are? Miguel looked at his watch. Wrist. They were beautiful, expensive, and probably had sentimental value. But Mercedes' life was worth it. More than any object. I'll sell the watch. No, Camila got up excited. This watch was given to you with love. Patricia will be sad if you sell them. Camila, your grandmother can be very sick. A watch is just a thing. It's not just a thing. It's the only memory you have of who you are. Miguel knelt before, holding her small hands. Do you know what I discovered while living with Vanya? That we're not made up of things we have. We are made up of people we love and who love us in return. But what if you can't remember anything else? Without a watch? Then I will build a new life with you. Camila began to cry. Miguel pulled her into his arms, feeling how his heart breaks when he realizes how important this girl has become to him. I'll take care of you. He promised, no matter what happens. If the people who are looking for you are bad, then we will face them. Person together. Dear listener, if you like the story, don't forget to like it, and, most importantly, subscribe to channel. This helps us a lot, who are just getting started. Now let's continue. Miguel sold the watch in a jewelry store in the center. The amount was enough to pay for all the Mercedes tests. One more thing. There is money left for medicine. When they returned to the hospital, the results were already ready. The diagnosis was not the most good. Mercedes had heart problems that would require constant medical supervision and significant changes in lifestyle. Nothing that would threaten her life immediately, but that would require care. I'll have to quit. Hard work, she said, lying in a hospital bed. Don't worry about it now, Miguel replied. And how will we live? This is very dangerous. She will not work alone. I will work with. Nay, you can't stay here forever, Miguel. Someday you'll discover someone and want to go back to of his life. And if I don't want to? The Mercedes looked at him carefully. Young man, you are a good person, but you do not belong to our world. Someday, reality will knock on the door, as if its words were prophetic. The next day, reality knocked on the door, literally. Camille was at school. Miguel insisted that she not miss class to take care of her grandmother when 3 men in costumes appeared at the door of the hut. Good afternoon, one of them said politely. We are looking for a person who can live here. Diego Salazar. The name struck Miguel like lightning. Memories are all back. Immediately, as if a dam had broken. He remembered everything now. Diego Salazar, owner of the construction company Salazar, one of the largest construction companies in Mexico City, married to Patricia Salazar, father of 15-year-old Daniela. Salazar is completely devoted to his own partner and best friend, Robert Mendoza. It's me, he said. Miguel, leaving the house. I'm Diego Salazar. Senior Salazar, we were very worried. Your family is desperately looking for you. My family. Irony in Diego's voice was obvious. What part of my family? My wife, who has been sleeping with my partner for 2 years, or my daughter, who prefers his money to her father's love. People looked at each other awkwardly. Senior, we don't know the personal details. We were just hired to find you. Your wife offers a significant reward. Of course, she needs me to show up so she can get rid of me legally. The memories have already fully returned. Discovery of betrayal, meeting with Roberto, where he tried to confront his partner. A drink that Roberto offered him and which tasted strange. Waking up in a dump with no memory, no documents, no nothing. Do you know how I got to this junkyard? Asked Diego. No, senor. We only know that you have disappeared after business. Meetings where I was poisoned and left to look crazy or disappeared. Mobile phone from your pocket. Can I call your wife? She will be very happy. No. The answer was firm. You don't want anyone. You will not call. And now get out of here. Senior Slazer, with all due respect, we don't understand this. Not your job. Your job was to find me. You found me. Now go away. After the people left, Diego sat down on a chair on the terrace, trying to make sense of everything he remembered. 38 years of life that returned immediately. The Mercedes returned from the hospital at the end of the day, brought by a neighbor. She looked at Diego and immediately noticed that something had changed. Do you remember everything? She asked, sitting down in a chair next to his. I remembered. Now I don't know what to do. Tell me your real story." Diego took a deep breath and told him everything. His company, a marriage that had been falling apart for years, a teenager, a daughter who barely. Neem, a partner who betrayed him in every possible sense. "So, do you love her?" asked Mercedes when he had finished. "Patricia married my money, not me. When the company began to grow, it changed. She became a different person. And your daughter?" "Daniela." Diego felt his eyes fill with tears. "Daniela was my princess. But in recent years, she was only interested in money to buy things. Roberto pampered her more than I did. I think she preferred him to herself as a father. Have you tried to talk to her about it yet?" "I've tried, but it's hard to compete with someone who gives her everything. What she wants." The Mercedes was silent for a while, watching the plants in the garden that Diego was helping her grow. "Do you know the difference between love and interest?" she finally asked. "In what?"